What up, everybody? I want to say thank you for listening to this brand new episode of the No Rhyme or Reason podcast. We appreciate every single one of you for tuning in to our show. But there's a small problem. We need you to subscribe on your device, whatever it may be, whether you're checking us out on YouTube, whether you're checking us out on Facebook, no matter where you hear this, subscribe or follow the podcast so you can be alerted as to when we create a new episode for you. We've even added a link down in the description for you where you can just by one click subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Just in case you miss it, you got something going on, you're busy, we ask you to subscribe to the No Rhyme or Reason podcast. Enjoy the show. Yo, you are now tuned in to the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, presented to you by On The Map Music Group, featuring Icarus Gray, and I'm your homeboy Wordplay T.JAY. We deliver to you a dope conversation where we talk about everything for no reason at all. Tune in every Monday to join in on the conversation. And without any further delay, this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast. Three, two, one.
What's up, people? It's your boy, Icarus Gray, and today we have a special edition of the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything for no reason at all. Today is a bit of an album release with my guy Wordplay T.JAY for Orientation Day. So we got a lot of great things planned for you because we're going to introduce you to this wonderful playlist of music. And we'll explain that a little bit later. So don't get your panties in a bunch. But either way, it's going to be an amazing thing. So I wanted to first mute my phone so that way I can keep track of the comments, and we want you to ask questions that you may or may not have down in the comments. I will address them or give attention to them accordingly as I see them. But for the most part, we're going to try and stay on a bit of a format to get you as much information about this new album as possible. So T.JAY, I wanted to start this by asking you, what was your intentions when you first started creating Orientation Day?
So the intentions for Orientation Day, there was no intention to begin with, to start with, because when I started it, it was sort of right out an album, right after an album cycle. So I dropped job application in April of 2016, did a couple shows, and then immediately kind of got back into making music, and I felt really prolific, right? So I set up 2016 as my year to be prolific, and so I just kept making music. And so right after that, I did the collaboration with Futuristic. And then right after that was, I think, Rain. I dropped that. And then I just kept dropping songs either monthly or weekly after that. And that kind of sparked a new orientation for me. It was another change. It was another pivot point in my career. And so as I started making more and more songs, these pivot points became more and more clear to me, that every single step along the journey was more like a evolution, a new orientation.
So once you got to the end of this orientation and you started realizing like, hey, I'm actually in the middle of creating another album, how did you start to formulate how you wanted, or which songs you wanted, and how you wanted to ultimately finish all of this, since you had been in a process that you were just in, that you didn't even know?
That's the tough part, because that's way late in the sequence. So it's sort of like after a year, 2017 was nothing but releasing singles. I had no intentions on releasing the album in the way it looks like now. And the album I thought would come out would be several different songs, not the ones I released. And it would be a situation where I just, I guess, kind of, culminate all the experience I had from recording, mixing, mastering really, really fast into a much different project. I just thought it would sound different. I thought it would be different. I thought I would have to do sort of double the work and have, 32 songs just out there, and then have another almost, 15 or more just to put out as an album. So that's what I thought.
Okay. So now that we're here at the release, we were talking off air about how we as artists want our albums to be able to be non-skippable. We want people to sit and enjoy the experience. And a lot of times that's difficult because of the way labels will push singles and things like that. So then people are more aware of singles, but don't understand how they fit amongst the tapestry that is the complete album. You told me that you're feeling like this is your closest attempt at having an album that you can just play straight through that gives that playlist feel. Why is that?
That's because I treated every individual song as an individual piece of art. And so I wasn't sticking it in the playlist, in the album sequence just because. It was every single piece stands on its own, but they also gel together very well. And so all I have to do from there is just put it in the right order. And the songs will dictate that order, right? Whatever outro sounds best with the next intro will determine how that sounds. It's just up to me to fill out what that sequencing is. And I think this is the best sequencing that I've done in a long time.
Now, that's a perfect segue into showing the actualization of this. And I think that we should try to, well, not even try to, we're going to go through all 15 of the songs. Don't worry, guys, we're not playing every song. We're just going to give you snippets. So that way you can understand a little bit about the album in and of itself. With each song, we're going to ask a couple questions to get a little bit in depth about the creation of said song. So that way you guys can hear it a little bit and also get a little insight from T.J. himself. So what we're going to do now is, if you're ready, is we're going to start with New Day.
Okay. Yeah. Get up, get out. Get up, get out. This is a new day. Get up, get out. Get up, get out. Sparking a new wave. I'm so in control. So in control. Rocking the new stage. Got the sun in my soul. Sun in my soul. This is a new phase. So I'm on my way. Yeah, I'm on my way. To show, I'm great. Just show I'm great. Yeah, I'm on my way. Yeah, I'm on my way. Cause I know I'm great. So I know I'm great. Wake up in the morning, another day to own it. I'm okay. Can't worry about no phonies, they don't really know me. So my fair, the love that keeps me going, positive my own man. I don't tell, I show it, switching up my focus. Got my legs. How I boost my soul, how I maintain. Looking when I claim things, seeing how the game change. Take a look up out the window and the frame change. Get a whole lot of wins with the campaign. When it's dark and they fold like a hand crane. I'm a wavelength, shaking, scraping like it's rampage. Popped off like it's New Year champagne. Full of feeling I can make it out my own brain. Get up, get out, get up, get out. This is a new day. Get up, get out. All right, that's it.
Okay. So that was a little bit of New Day. What pulled you strong enough to put New Day as the intro?
That just is the nature of that song. Right? So like the nature of New Day feels like a brand new day. Like there's no other way to really put it. It feels like waking up in the morning, the sun's coming through the blinds, it's a little orange, it's a little yellow, and it's not one of those days where you feel like you need to go back to bed for another hour. It feels like you're ready, you're refreshed, you're ready to go. And I think the kind of moral of that thought process is that every day we get a chance to sort of start new, right? So even if the previous day was bad, even if the previous day was kind of tough, like we get a chance to like reset, and I think that's really important to how I felt when I created this.
Going deeper into how you felt, what was your new day in the sense that releasing this album, this being, like I said, one of the more confident you felt about an album? Because I feel in this album that this is the most confident, this is the most concise, this is the most direct that you've been with any album. So what was this New Day feeling that you get from the song?
I just felt like every day is a new opportunity to really shine. Like it doesn't get any more more plain than that, right? That feeling of when you're sort of kind of moping through life, and then eventually you get so tired of moping that you can't mope anymore.
Right.
That's sort of where I was, It's like, okay, so there's been a little bit, mostly optimism, but a little bit of pessimism in my life. And so how do I really get rid of the pessimism? Because the pessimism can get really, really exhausting. And that became what New Day is.
And I like that, to break it down a little bit, because if you think about everything that you're doing in this album, in the places in which you release these songs, you were going through the journey that this album is while you were creating these things in like an out of order sense. But they were happening in the order that they needed to, which further lends itself to the playlist goal of having it play like that, because you were in this shuffle mode of creating these different aspects of the album. So with that being said, as I do all these horrible transitions in terms of like wording, we're gonna go into my energy, which takes the thought of a new day and the brightness of it and continues into my energy.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, bless my soul. Tell me that I can't be bold. Hands up and I can't fold. So high I can't get low. Yo, I could be the norm, but chose to change lanes. Beating every level, but chose to change games. Off the chain game, working for years, but still same. A mile high up, but never can complain. Looking mighty great, but thinking they plain Janes. Lying to yourself, so easy to maintain. You above range, defeated it so lame. Meditated daily and dropped the same things. Haters can't hang with us, we dangerous. We flame the touch, we can't stain the rust. Spreading all this love ain't strange to us. Surfing and we got a new wave to brush. No shame in us, we gon' let this loose. Feel it in my soul and I let this through. A little bit of patience and I let this brew. I'm in it for the win, so they let me swoosh. I said bless my soul. Can't touch my Tell energy. Me that I can't be bold. Can't touch my Hands energy. Up and I can't fold. Can't touch so my high energy. I can't get low. Can't touch my energy. Bless my soul. Can't touch my Tell energy. Me that I can't be bold. Can't touch my Hands energy. Up and I can't fold. Can't touch so my high energy. I can't get low. Can't touch my energy. There's something in the air that I can't stop. Letting my soul glow and they can't knock even when I'm so. Yeah, that was it.
Nice. Nice. Sorry. We sorry, it's a small peek behind the scenes. Like I can't hear any of the audio that you guys get to hear right now. So I'm like also listening along on my phone. So some transitions may be a little clunky and I apologize. But with that, I love what you said about new day in the beginning, about this being a new type of, energy and a new type of mindset. I feel that this goes into that mindset and going out into the day and conquering with this mindset. It's not just like I got up and, I was happy. I didn't want to like feel like I'm in a stupor anymore, but now I'm up acting. What is it that you feel from my energy?
At the time that I created the song, my mindset was on licensing for one, right? I was thinking about just increasing the bottom line with the business. And so I was kind of needing a song that I could put anywhere and everywhere and have people feel good and that type of thing. But you can't really do any of that forcefully, right? So I had to get into the mindset of how I felt. And so you're right. When I created New Day, and then I think my energy came first. But when I created my energy specifically, it was all about expressing how I felt without any negative limitations. It's just a whole new feeling. It's a whole new new life to live, to be like, oh, I'm not worried about anything that's going on with anything negative. Like, send anything my way, please do, because it's not going to be existent when it comes over here. And so, like, the whole way I'm like, bless my soul. Tell me that I can't be bold. Tell me that I can be bold. Hands up and I can't fold. And you can't touch my energy at that point. Like, you can't downgrade it. And that's how I felt.
Is this a form of motivation to yourself? Is it like, because a lot of times in music, we miss people actually building us up. Now, there are positive songs. I'm not saying that there's not, but what I feel that there's a lack of are songs that say, hey, it's okay to do things in a positive way without thinking about the struggle, without thinking about all these things that are kind of getting you down, to just be happy. Had you found a true happiness in my energy?
In the song? Because there's kind of two questions there. So the first question was, did I find motivation in it?
Yeah.
And honestly, no, because I didn't make any of the songs to motivate myself. I was already motivated. And that's the kicker, right? Like, I'm already there. I'm already happy. I'm already energized. I'm already pleased. you can't it's contradictory to say that you're motivating to a feeling and then say you have that feeling at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's like I said, it's a good space. Like I said, when you hear it, you just kind of feel that need. And it's just like, that it's filled. So therefore it gives a motivation to people that I think they otherwise couldn't feel if you, as you say, weren't in that genuine place.
Yeah.
So next, we're gonna slide on into Mumble Song.
Okay. This one's probably one of my favorites. Wake up every morning, I'm like, God, turn the speaker up. Looking at the haters, I'm like, God, we don't speak enough. Coke bottle glasses, watch the mob when they geek it up. Tear it all down, we just feeling we ain't bleak enough. Ink it up, tattoo on the sheet just for the paper. Sync it up, spirit in the zone, never waver. Told the distribution that we gotta go diamond. Working for the rhyming, I just thought I should remind you. Alright, sticking with the game, cause we all gotta get along. Watching what we say in this thing like a sing-along. Sticking with the game, cause we all gotta get along. Do just what you want, find a song we can mumble on. Playing with the keys, cause we all gotta hope. You don't need to plead, you just change the approach. Never mind the league, we just hang with the coach. When the fat booty saying this is all that she wrote. Never sorry, all the hot butter. Yeah, there it is.
Gotta say, I did get better at that, and I'm ready to go.
I'm just gonna cue you in anyway. So
this is another one of my favorites as well. Mostly because I did all the stereotypical rap ad libs for you on this track.
yeah.
But
At like 2 a.m.
oh yeah, it was like at 2 a.m. Like I was. Oh man, there was some exhaustion going on there. But this song in general, I think. Do you think it'll cause confusion given its title, even though the title isn't like you're not taking shots at anybody or anything like that?
Maybe it may piss some people off. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Because it's nothing personal. It's nothing that I'm saying negative about anything. As a matter of fact, if you listen to the hook, which obviously, right, don't just listen to music. Well, they don't listen to music; they skim through it, right? So, like, if you're listening, you hear the hook, sticking with the gang because we all gotta get along. Do just what you want. Find a song you can mumble on. Like, do what you want. Do what you want to do and express yourself the way you want to express yourself. I don't have a problem with that. My thing is that I can still take my style. I can still do my thing and use your vibes on it, right? Like the sounds that you use, the simple chords, the simple notes. In this case, it's just single notes. It's not even chords, and the simplicity of the beat is what I wanted to compare to the simplicity of the music now, and just enjoy myself and let loose. Wake up every morning, and
Like,
say, wake up every morning. I'm like, God, turn the speaker up. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. Cause I'm like, I'm waking up, I'm meditating, and I'm feeling like super refreshed. Every day is just like new day. And so it's really funny if you like listen through the album. If you listen to say track 1, track 2, track 3 right here at Mumble Song. And then after you finish Mumble Song, you go back and then you go to 4. Like that's how my day goes, if that makes any sense.
Right. What I wanted to ask was about the duality of mumble song.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the understanding of why, as people call it, the mumble rap stuff. It's understanding that balance of enjoying the music and yet showing you that my pen is lethal. My pen will speak volumes, whether you think the song is too quote unquote simplistic or not. Was that your intent?
My intent was to say maybe the opposite, right? So if you think that I'm too complex, then I'm going to say it not in a way that's dumbing it down. I'm going to say it exactly how I would say it, in the easiest way I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't dumb down the bars. It just makes them a little bit more fun to listen to. And so it's taking my pen game, keeping it exactly where it is, but saying, hey, catch up to where I am, but you can still have fun too.
Right. Do you, and this is the last question I ask on this, but I just have to ask it. Do you think other rappers have a problem with doing that?
With
What kind of just like lyricists like ourselves, do we have problems just kind of having fun and saying exactly what it is we want to say? We don't have to make a metaphoric or a simile or any of the other devices. Just kind of enjoy yourself and speak to your fans in a way that they're like, cool.
I think so. And the reason why I think so is because as lyricists, you're always trying to prove yourself as the cream of the crop. You're always trying to prove yourself as not necessarily better than, right? Because lyricists are not competing with other people for the crown of it. We're competing with other people for the fun of it, right? It's a steel sharpens steel type of relationship oftentimes with lyricists. But the issue is that we want to prove that we can write the dopest bars ever, but sometimes the dopest bars ever don't need to be written because the better way to say something is much more simple.
I like that. Just the general simplicity of writing. Like sometimes you can get so far away from trying to say, I walk through the door, as I'm saying, you instead of I pierced the awning and
Yeah.
twisted the doorknob or whatever the case may be.
It's like reading a legal document, right? Sometimes you want your legal document to just say what you really mean, right? Don't say in arbitration, or don't just tell me something about what the hell is arbitration? You know what I mean? Sometimes, you gotta let me know. You gotta let me know what you're saying sometimes.
Right. Okay. So now we're gonna put in some more work and get into the next song, Overtime.
Bet. Overtime. Ain't about the new year, new me. Bark it up and groove on loose leaf. Ain't nothing else to prove, I do me. Rather than cruise, I lose sleep. Ain't worry about the cool SUV. First of the year, don't do sheesh. Know I'm so deaf like Dupree. I don't wanna sign no new lease. Cause the same old folks with the same old goals. Hit the new year with the same old woes. Try to get high with the same old lows. Same old you with the brand new clothes. Pimper yourself cause you wanna get chose. Wanted to stop but you don't let go. Wrote this verse but it feels like prose. This is all I know. Overtime, all the time on my grind. Overtime, cause you on my mind, Overtime, all the time on my grind. Overtime. overtime, cause you on my mind, I'ma put in work to get to my goals. I'ma put in work to get to my goals. I'ma put in work to get to my goals. I'ma put in work to get to my goals. Always going hard as I go. They can look at me like I'm toast. Get away from me, I'm too close. That's it.
I'm gonna put in work to get to my goals. You know what I'm saying? I love the harmonies on that song. This song is pretty self-explanatory, but I guess this is a funny question.
Okay.
So we talk about this all the time. Like, what is the real beef with people doing their New Year's resolutions?
It's that they don't stick to them. That's my only beef. Like, it's okay to set goals and then say, oh, my goal shifted, right? It changed to another one. DJ Khaled. And
Another one.
so it's okay to say that, but what's not okay is to set your resolution starting January 1 and being by January 20, right? Because it doesn't even take it to 30, 31. By January 20, it's over. Martin Luther King Day, you done forgot about it. And what you even set it in the first place for? Like, wasn't you into it? Wasn't you motivated? Didn't you want to make this change in your life? Like, that's my beef with it. Is and people can feel some type of way about it because, I tend to be hard on folks, but here's the thing is that we live one life. So you have one opportunity really to just really get what you want to get out of life and then move on to the next journey. And every day isn't promised. And so nobody else's opinion, your own crazy, like negative thoughts that you put on yourself, your own, like your mom telling you to go get a real job, right? Your somebody telling you to go do this, or putting all these rules on you. That's why I didn't agree with JLD when we had our conversation. And that's why I argue it to the day. Quit your fucking day job because you ain't got but one life. And once you die, the job is gonna keep going without you. Right? So do what you love to do. And don't get me wrong, sometimes what you love to do could be flipping burgers at McDonald's. So we won't have that problem of who's going to flip my burger at McDonald's. Hell, a robot's probably going to be doing it soon, but like we won't have that problem of who's going to sell me this thing at Best Buy because there are people out there that aren't at Best Buy because somebody done told them not to follow their passion. And that's my point with that one.
Right. So I look at overtime like the ancillary or the answer to someone else's dream. So someone else's dream, you're at this job, that you're talking about now that a lot of people are there because someone told them not to chase their dreams, so on and so forth. But you get to overtime where it's like, I'm going to just put in work on me. I'm going to go into overtime on me. Whereas versus overtime on this other person's dream that keeps the lights on or whatever, but doesn't help me attain anything as a personal human being. So were they connected in that way? And if so, I know you well enough to know it wasn't planned, but like, did you feel that as this answer to it?
This was my antithesis at the current time, right? Because you have to have you can't be all one way 100% of the time, right? And so the current thesis is that I don't have to work so hard in order to get what I want, because there's the law of diminishing returns, right? Eventually I'm going to hit a threshold, right? My body's going to give out. I'm going to max out on fans. I'm going to, somewhere there's going to be a ceiling. But because it's the antithesis, I do believe in putting in a little bit of effort. But first, you really got to work on yourself and get out of your own way. And so overtime is saying I'm out of my own way. Now I can put in that work because I'm inspired to put in that work. I don't wake up and feel like I'm too tired to do something. I don't feel like I've ran out of ideas. I just feel like it's time to, like, I wake up, I get inspired, and I do whatever it is I put my mind to.
I love that. I love that transition, and I love the way that feels. So without further ado, let's get into track number 5, Rain.
Word.
Yeah, so you know the procedure, a notable preacher. You know I spit a quote to delete you, a notable feature. I'm spinning like a rotor so gross. Sicker than Zika would never have you know me the mo. I'm higher than fevers, I'm on your receivers by the meter, getting wetter by the liter. Tag me by the pound, but I'm bested by the tweeter. Told you I'm like Jeter, hitting way above the C list. Talent like a theater, kinda bug me like a beetle. Leeches think I suck, they ain't stepping to the bleachers. Couldn't write above a buck, putting dough up like they beat you. And the way I'm healing the people, we're tracking like a magneto. Tight up like a burrito and stitch it up like I'm Lilo. Shorter than DeVito whenever you know me to quit. Even when I'm rapping slower, ain't no holding my wit. They can try to almanac it, but it's cold as it gets. Try to dare me with the devil, but I'm stronger than Fisk. You know when you hear my sound, yeah, I let it rain when it's coming down, yeah, I let it rain when it's coming down, yeah, I let it rain on them, you know when you hear my sound, hey, I let it rain when it's coming down, ooh, I let it rain when it's coming down, yeah, I let it rain on them.
Money isn't everything, but everything is money, and at the root of it all, somebody trying to take it from me. In the pursuit of happiness, a test roll dummy. When the clouds roll in, they still telling me it's sunny.
Yeah, it's the one.
Yeah, I love that last bar. It's just so geeky. It's dripped in geek sauce. No, I'm not biased. I'm trying to dab me with the devil, but I'm stronger than Fist. It's like, like that's amazing. That's a perfect question for this. Mm-hmm. How we're nerds, so how is it that you most enjoy? Because you do it a couple more times, I think, in this song. Throwing in things from your nerddom and just like how enjoyable is that when you like get the perfect line that like, because that fits so much within the song and still makes sense as a perfect sentence without it being geeky.
Well, let's maybe I should backtrack and think about the inspiration for the song. So number one, the inspiration for the beat came from the is it the rain drum? I think it is called, but it's an instrument, and when you turn it, and rain stick, that's what it's called. It's a rain stick, and when you turn it, there's little beans inside, and from one edge to the other edge, these beans are sliding, and it sounds like rain. And so I played the instrument. I played that instrument, and it reminded me of Mrs. Z's class, our elementary school music teacher, and something really like had me, because this is about the time that she passed. And so I switched it around, and I was like, okay, something feels like rain, but how can I play around with this idea of rain and that energy? What does that energy sound like? And so I really just, made the beat, and then was starting to think of every single metaphor I could think of with rain, and something about rain reminded me of Daredevil because he can see when it's raining, right?
Yeah. A little bit. That's the what's funny about that is
Uh-huh.
that's what they made in the original one with Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
Is like when it rained, he could all of a sudden see the shapes of people and stuff.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
like,
but
wait, what? Like it was it's the geekiest representation of that movie. Um, but
but
yeah,
that's what I
that's
remember
cool.
most, and so I just kept
Yeah.
using the at the the next verse. I wanted to use something about you know about comics as well, and so I used the Wolverine line, or talked
Because
about
that's
Wolverine.
how because that's how this
Killing while
song
I
pops.
started it off with the next verse, killing
Yeah,
while I'm healing. That's that Logan feeling. Yeah.
yeah. 'Cause that's the general premise of the song is you feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you it's to me, it harkens to emotions. It's kind of like, when you hear my sound, I make it rain when I'm coming down.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's so many different meanings because itself is Reign, yeah,
Yeah.
for rain. It's in kingdom reigning as you're talking about this rain, and it's like I'm in the middle of my emotions that I'm allowing you to see. I'm pushing through adversity. Um, looking at the landscape of the world, and I'm telling you, you know who I am.
Yeah.
There is no question about what I am. There is no question about how I feel. Um, what was another pivotal point that you were trying to get across with Rain?
Um, it was just feeling like we're kings and queens, and we don't have to really dominate a throne to have our own kingdoms, right? So we're sort of the kings and queens of our own domain, and we need to be able to express that. So I used even your sample, right? Didn't start off as a sample.
No.
It started off as verse parts, and I decided that it sounds so good that I need to add it to the beat, right? And so I started chopping it up in Machine, and I chopped it and played it alongside of the beat so I can feel the energy of what you're saying on top of it. And your rain is more, talking about wealth and finances and things of that nature, and how that kind of rains upon us, and that thought process. And so it adds so many more layers to it until the whole thing feels like it's just dripping on you, right?
Okay.
That's what I wanted it to feel like.
Because essentially the creation was just trying to get those things off of you. Like, that they say that these are the things that uh make us reign. And at that time, to give a little bit of context, there was a lot of racial things going on to where people were not visibly able or pretending to be visibly able or pretending to not be visibly able to see the pain that we were going through. And so that was my whole thing. It's like, there's money isn't everything, but with the way that we have this capitalistic society set up, everything is money. Whether it's working for yourself and making enough to be happy, whether it's working for the man, whether it's doing whatever. But the way that you took it, and like you were saying, you made it into like you took the instrument. It's like, so on this one end, it was a cloud of thunder. and it was full of anger or full of, you know, displacement. But as you turn the tide of where you place the verses and the fragmentations of the verse, you then see all of these things coming at you at once that are not attacking you. Because unless it's like hell, rain has always felt inviting for most people, unless you're just someone who doesn't like rain or water.
Yeah.
But it
What's up,
just
Juice?
feels like it washes over you in a very, very, very good way. So I enjoyed that about rain. I love that I was a part of it, and I appreciate you for allowing me to be a part of it. And now we're gonna get into another one of these flames. And we're gonna play Manifest. So y'all listen to that real quick, and then we'll be back with more questions.
Let the DJ have some room. Yeah. Overthinking, ready for the weekend. Really get offensive, nothing we can defend. Wanna let it loose and I ain't gon' pretend. When it's all said and done, hope you keep it secret. See it crystal clear now, manifest. Make it all appear cause I manifest. See it crystal clear now, manifest. Melt away the fear cause I manifest. Riley in the flesh, Huey in the brain. Scribble all the shit so I can entertain. Push the overflow when I'm in my own lane. I thought you knew, but I'm switching mode. 50,000 seaters peeking out the meter. Streak from my Adidas, just from moving the arenas. Get there in the jiff with my peanut butter cedar. They may think I'm nuts, but it's underneath my finger. Cause I'm pushing all the buttons, pushing all the change. And if you talking about the throne, I can't see the rain. Look above the ceiling, this gon' do above a million. The way I paint the picture, this is way above acrylic. Yeah, I may be humble, but I'm way above acrylic. I may think about it, but I'm not above the feeling. See my family chillin', take it further than you know. And the way I keep it up, I ain't worried about the slope. Overthinking, ready for the weekend. Really get offensive, nothing we can defend. Wanna let it loose and I ain't gon' pretend. When it's all
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I was over here vibing out myself. Man, y'all almost got left, so I could just listen to that some more. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, okay. So we're gonna attack two lines in these two questions. First question:
Okay.
Riley in the flesh, Huey in the brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just give that vibe of what that means, because you know that is not only just poignant to us, but it's just deep. So go. I'm gonna let you go.
So that was, and it's really, really important, the order of it. You know what I mean? Riley in the flesh, Huey in the brain. Like, I gotta remind people, like Riley of the Boondocks, like, I'm still ignorant. Like, I still get out here and I still like enjoy like the the fleshy things of life, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, and I'm not, and just because I'm intelligent doesn't mean that I don't embrace that ignorant side of me. Just because I speak the way I speak doesn't mean I don't embrace that ignorant side of me. And you know, I tried to say that in Ignorant Side B, but I think this was a little bit more poignant of the point, you know.
Okay. So how are you not Krillin? I just like you just took Krillin out there, and it was the most hilarious line of like the most prominent definition of not being humble. That was dope.
It's to say I'm way above a Krillin. Yeah. Well, it's like I'm not comparing myself to Goku. I'm not comparing myself to Vegeta, right? But like, where do I sit, right? I know I sit up there, but it's not for me to judge that. But I also know that my power level is high.
Over 9,000.
Right? I still know that you know, I'm not just a mere human, so to speak. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, is that a lot of us feel like in order to move through life, in order for you to be accepted, you gotta humble yourself. And the reality is that people are killing people's confidence left and right. We're doing confidence suicide by telling ourselves, "Nah, I gotta be humble. Nah, I gotta be humble." No, sometimes you gotta flash out a little bit and tell people who the fuck you are.
Okay, I'm not even gonna ask no more questions about that. That's a good way to end on Manifest. Please be sure you go back and listen to that. And I mean, I'm wanting y'all to check out the whole album, but specifically, just go rock out on some Manifest. So let's get into the next, the viral sensation,
Yeah.
Tony Robbins.
I don't know why you making room for doubt. That don't leave room for much else. Speak it to existence, all the blessings that you want in life. Sprinkle in the effort, that's the method, it ain't overpriced. Overhype is the feeling when you're sold or not. Export what's not important, I'm just sorting what is sort of wise. Fortified, I'm dancing in my haters' place. Feeling fly as ever, you just holding on for paperweight. No paper chase, we plant and watch it harvest. Become just what I thought of, I am not a starving artist. As long as you the bravest, you ain't gotta be the smartest. Live and make it wavy, you ain't gotta make it harder. Teeter-totter, balance out the feeling. Give the good you got and let the balance make a killing, yeah. Like Tony Robbins, feel so alive. Got no complaints, let go my pride. Feel so abundant, there's no surprise. Can't take me under, while on the rise. Do yourself a favor, be yourself and let it go. Do yourself a favor, be yourself and let it go. Do yourself a favor, be yourself and let it go. Do yourself a favor, be yourself and let it grow. Set the wheel in motion, this rotation of the energy. And when you feel you lacking... Yeah.
Yeah, I had to have a mini dance break right there because just I love this song. Tony Robbins. Like, what's funny about the song in and of itself is it's in that vein. It's in the Gary V. It's in the Tony Robbins. It's in the whatever motivational speaker you go and listen to. That's what this song feels like, and it's still unique and different from every other song that encompasses motivation for the album. So how would you trying to say, how is that how you felt when you were creating this song?
I felt like I was just fully in a place where I can embrace law of attraction, and whether people like go for it or not, what you'll soon realize is that a lot of the times when you get out of your own way and you live with a little bit more optimism, you live with a little bit more hope, you live with a little bit more peace of mind, things just start happening because you're sort of in a place where you're bringing people and things and just good energy towards yourself. It's just like a magnet, right? You just kind of have a much higher vibration, right? And the best analogy I have for it is from the folks that I listen to, Esther Hicks, and and she's like you can't listen to 92.3, right? Shout out to Lil Rock. You can't listen to 92.3 if you got it dialed to 103.6, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like negative energy may be on 90, maybe on 103.6, but the good stuff is on 92.3. No plug intended. So that's how it is. You got to tune yourself to the right thing, and once you do that, that's what that song is about. Tuning it.
Right. And how surprised were you by how well it was received? Because this was, like I said, it was because of the way you've done the album, you've done all these different singles, and different singles, pop differently. But this one seemed to have an instant reception with the fans and everything else. So, how did you feel about the surprise of what Tony Robbins is currently?
It attracts its own energy,
Mm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
the decision to name it or use Tony Robbins in the hook, right? I had to be in a good feeling place to even say his name in the hook, right? I had to be in a good feeling place to get the inspiration to name it Tony Robbins. But what I didn't know about Tony Robbins, and this is the sweet part, right? Because when you're in that good feeling place, you don't know how, when, where, or any of the other details or variables. But what I didn't know is that Tony Robbins is heavily searched on Spotify and Apple Music and all these other streaming services. And what I didn't know is there are no other songs called Tony Robbins. So once I put it up, people are searching for it and they're finding me, which is what I asked for. I asked for people to find me instead of me going out and finding them.
Great answer. I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes these eloquent answers take me away.
Yeah, straight off the dome.
Fire on Don DeMarco. Like if I had a couple of those URL rap beats, I'd drop them. But let's go ahead and get into Ghosted, because there are a lot of great keys to life in Ghosted. And
right.
and I'm we're ready.
Thought we had a good thing. Leave without a notice. That's how you approach it. Guess I've been demoted. Thought we had a good thing. Guess I never noticed. That's how you approach it. Still you left me ghosted. Hit you on the line, another hotline blink. Chase you all around, it's simply not my thing. Wanna get to know you, this is not about rings. All you had to say, you wanna stop our fling, Marcy me, ain't gotta kill my soul, it's to be and not to be. Gotta fill the hole, so I need you not to leave. Warm with my mind, I could use a little peace. Wanna be your lover, not a friend. Old enough to speak, we ain't gotta play pretend. I ain't got a pill that the doctor recommends. Joel Osteen, you don't wanna let me in. And we don't wanna love no more. Stop communicating, that's a real low blow. Water down the brand where your real low go. Guess we never know. Yo, thought we had a good thing. Leave without a notice. That's how you approach it. Guess I've been demoted. Thought we had a good thing. Guess I never noticed. That's how you approach it. Still you left me ghosted. What I gotta do to bring the whole thing back? Bring it back the whole thing. Bring it back the whole thing. Guess you be my old flame. Yeah.
You definitely didn't have to do Joel like that.
It was right about that time.
So yeah, it's perfect. It was man. Okay. So Ghosted. Do you want to tell the story, or like can you tell the story? Because I think that's an interesting.
Yeah, I can tell the story. I can tell the story. Yeah. So, I mean, this was middle schoolish, right? So you're just kind of into, you're finding out that you're into girls and and whatnot, or whatever you're into at the time. But I found out I was into this girl, and she was like kind of right next door. She was older, and we hit it off. So every time she come over and kind of visit her folks, then I get a chance to hang out. And so eventually, this is way before like their cell phones prevalent, smartphones, all this type of thing. So I wanted to use a new term with an old thing that already happened, right? Bringing back the old thing. Yeah, that's what I. And so the old thing was that at that point in time, if somebody left and never said anything about the relationship or where anything was going, then you ain't have no way to get a hold to them unless you seen them out at Walmart or something. So it is literally ghosted, right? So now you can kind of stalk people a little bit, but no, that's real ghosting if you listen to the song.
Yeah, I remember those days. Those days were like crazy in terms of like, you want to talk about rejection? Like rejection is knowing that somebody comes somewhere every day and then they don't anymore, and then you see them out and it was just like, oh well, I wanted to tell you. So like, for this being the relationship song essentially, and it applies to a lot of different things, which is also really great because it doesn't just apply to relationships in terms of like a romantic relationship. It can apply to the evolution of relationships and stuff like that we talked about on the episode of the podcast. So yeah, Ghosted was dope, and I'm glad you told that story. So let's now slide on into the cornerstone, but don't bump your feet, people.
Shout out the Cornerstone, it's closed now. So I've been jumping out my skin since I was 16. At the Cornerstone, grabbed the phone and then it hit me. Running across the line, so it's feeling like a victory. Looking at no limits, so just holler if you with me. I drop, rehearse, and bend up corners. Show like Benny Hanna's, grow like flora amongst the fauna. Keep on swimming like Nirvana. I just wanna do my set. Go home soaked in cigarettes, staring at my homework honors. I'm just full of more regrets. Let's be honest, be 100. I'm just trying to cash a check. Carry crates up in the venue. I'm just trying to do my reps. Do this at least about once a week and see what 15 minutes get. Let the smoke fill up my lungs so I barely catch my breath. But it's a step up in my future, sewn up like a suture. They see my adolescence, now they blown into a stupor. They like, Junior, how you get so dope? How you get your goals? I just practice in my room until I touch the microphone, and now it's jumping out my skin since I was 16. At the Cornerstone, grabbed the phone and then it hit me. Running across the line, so it's feeling like a victory. Looking at no limits, so just holler if you with me. Jump and scream out, no, 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 we won't go. Everybody in the party yell out, we won't mo. Scream out, no, no, no. Yeah, that was Cornerstone.
So, well, this is another story in the sense that it's like, I like that about how you sequenced it. Because there's so many themes that interconnect with one another and stories and things of this nature. Like, this is the story from Ghosted to what we'll do next in Pivot. There are so many stories that you're telling about your childhood that have come 360 to give you the foundation that is this amazing album. So what was the most important thing about telling this story in Cornerstone?
It was just trying to let people know about the whole entire album obviously is pivot points in my life where I've changed my entire orientation, right? So every new song is a new orientation day for me. And that process of performing and getting on stage was an orientation day for me. It was a new opportunity for me to get on stage, thanks to my uncle Jay South, who really was pivotal in the beginning of my career as a solo artist, and was even more crucial for me getting those repetitions in behind the stage and crafting my live show and understanding how to engage the crowd and understanding disappointment when only 5 people show up, but understanding also there's some nights where there's packed wall to wall people in the room and I need to engage them just the same as I do those 5. And so that was conditioning for any sort of stage situation. And on top of that, it was conditioning for my lungs because I suffer from asthma. So in a bar where I'm not even supposed to be in because I'm under 21, they're smoking and I'm up here suffering because I'm breathing in the smoke at the same time I'm trying to perform and give my best performance. But I can barely, like I said, I can barely catch my breath.
Right. Like I said, it's one of those things where you're learning all of these different things in the album. I want to go straight into Pivot because like we've been talking about all of these different pivot points, and Pivot has a lot going on that I kind of want to break down with you. So let's just go right into it.
Clearing out my sinuses, find a sign to live. All the science and the silence I can find and fuck to give. Digging through the drawer just to find another script. Cause I wasn't meant to waste my days in stuffy offices. Picking sausages, falling off of $5 slices. 12-hour shift just to stare at all the prices. Looking at my license like who the hell is me? So stressed I'm throwing up in the middle of the street. In the midst of spitting riddles in the middle of the week. Sipping whiskey and the coke while I fiddle with some beats. It's so hard for me to cope when my gut is killing me. Acting like I never know what the hell I'm finna be. Cause my girlfriend's stressing, leave another message, whole world getting messy. Pop a pain pill, that's a feel good method. This is real good pressure, but I wish I had my pop off for a real good lesson. Like, looking for the signs of a limit. Pivot, I'ma get the prize any minute. Pivot, counting all the time I diminish. Pivot, write another line till I'm finished. Pivot, so I lean on, lean on, lean on. Hoping I can lean on, lean on, lean on. I think Juice is feeling that one. Appreciate it.
What I was gonna say, just to get right into it, is we talked about this off air, but I kind of want you to talk about it because I didn't pick it up readily when I first listened to the song. But you talked about a pain pill addiction.
Yeah.
At that point in time. So like, what was that time in life like for you?
It was tough. So this is a pivot point that was after the MTV situation, right? I was I think at this point I hadn't left for New York yet, I don't think. But I was pretty close to that moment where I did leave for New York, and I think this led up to me going there and having that experience, because matter of fact, this moment led up to MTV. This was the breaking point where I said at no point in time will I ever let anything get in the way of my career, ever, 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 ever again. And so at that time, I was dealing with the stress of missing my grandfather, right? So this particular song makes me tear up. And then I was dealing with the stress of working 12-hour shifts. I was still full-time in art school. So full-time art school is different than full-time any other college situation. It's just like being in architecture school or being going to the school to be a doctor or anything else. Outside of your class time, you're spending 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 hours doing the work. And then on top of that, I'm running a business too. So there was no time for me left. And so some way, somehow I had to cope with that. And a part of this journey, I started getting, I developed a sort of a parasite that started eating away at my gut because my body couldn't fight it off. And part of that routine was I would pop a pain pill because I was hurting so much. I'd go to work and I'd be zoned out the whole entire time I'm at work, still kind of doing my job, but I needed the pill to go to work so I could make the money to do my music. And if I didn't do that, and the only way to cope with doing that was to take the pill. The only way to cope with the other stressors was to take the pill. And so eventually that kind of spiraled into my body crashing up on itself. And we all know what happened when I crashed, and I say it time and time again. MTV emails me and I missed the interview because I'm so sick that I can't get up on time.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's a powerful thing to understand the moments in life that allow us to grab a hold of ourselves.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have more than one moment of that throughout your life, no matter how much you are doing the right things. You have to have moments where you grab yourself to say, hey, I'm okay, or hey, I'm not okay, or hey, I need to change this, so on and so forth. And that's what I love.
Yeah,
About pivoting.
it was a reminder of every pivot point in your life, right? So you're gonna hit those walls, right? Because the song has a resolution, and that is that, by the end of it, you realize that you can't take yourself for granted. You have to love yourself first and put yourself first and take care of yourself before you do anybody else, and then look at every single challenge in your life as a time to evolve and move on. And that's important with this song.
Right. Let's slide from pivot right into no feedback.
Bet. I can sit in silence with the pilot, let me misbehave. Visualize the sirens, I'm inspired, now I hit the stage. Sometimes I be sweet and now I'm sour like it's lemonade. Creature in my spirit, feeling fearless, never in a cage. Sick of acting passive while the masses looking massive. Simply great at rapping, you should call them word assassin. Word of passion, crossing lines and see disciples grow the fastest. As I see the sign and in my lane, I'm looking past you. Maintain, you claim things you can't gain with no fame. Got no range, you stay the same, and that makes me insane. Sitting with the losers, can't step up with a ruler. Beggars can't be choosers till they link up with the shooter like. Bunch of posers, your whole life encoded. Write what you notice in digital folders. Keep thinking that we local since day one we've been global. Logo watch it manifest, get active like Chernobyl. In totals under serious records, I'm going loco. Take everything as serious, checkers, I'm more than noble. If you hit me with a bunch of excuses and I don't know you, I never had the chance to be sorry, I just get over. I can sit in silence with the pilot, let me misbehave. Visualize the sirens, I'm inspired, now I hit the stage. Sometimes I be sweet and now I'm sour like it's lemonade. Creature in my spirit, feeling fearless, never in a cage. No feedback, and I ain't looking for it. No feedback, and I ain't looking for it. No feedback, and I ain't looking for it. No feedback, and I ain't. Yeah.
So no feedback. Tell me what made you feel like, and I know I keep saying that, but there's like these are all different feels, but they are, and I know that sounds so weird, but it's like the feeling I'm trying to get from this is, or what was the starting point for needing to tell someone or anyone that no feedback is needed?
It's just because sometimes people want to with good intentions, right? In most cases, right? Because very rarely does anybody do anything for you out of love. I mean, out of hate, right? Most of the time, people are going to do things for you because they love you, So, the reason why I said no feedback is because oftentimes that caring and that feedback that we give to people just to help them takes them off of their own path, right? We have a guidance system. We have a GPS. We have what we need in order to get through every single obstacle in our lives. We don't need any advice. We don't need any feedback, right? We don't need any assistance with that. And feedback is also very important as well. So like if I turn these speakers up and I'm talking in the microphone at the same time, it's going to cause a reaction. And that's the reaction that you get when you have constant noise just sending signals at you while you're trying to listen to your own signal. And that's how I felt. It's like, whether it's good, whether it's bad, please don't give me feedback because I stopped listening to myself.
And see, that's such a hard thing to explain, I think, to the people that listen to creatives in terms of rappers or artists in their music.
Oh yeah.
Is, you really want people to, you want to figure yourself out first. You can interpret it and give feedback on it once I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but in the process, unless it's like, a good creative space between creatives, majority of the time you kind of just end up getting in the way.
Yeah, two people can definitely get together and kind of create on the same thing, right? At the same time. But it's really hard for you to take this individual business that's yours and listen to everybody else and say, oh shit, you're right, I need to take your advice. No, most of the time you know exactly what you need to be doing. You're just not listening to yourself. And so you got to get the feedback out of the way.
Okay, so now we're going to get into the most feel-good song on this entire album.
Let's pick the mood up.
Let's pick the mood up. But this song, man, listen, I feel like you need to ask me questions. Now I'm talking crap. This is going to be the only song where we play the whole song. No, I'm just playing.
I'll play both verses. I'll play both first.
But let's
do both verses.
Word? We're gonna do both verses? Oh, yeah. Word. We're gonna get it right now in the Past the Aux featuring myself to start you guys' summer.
Politicians going crazy. Crooked cops, they wanna fade me. All this pressure won't pop. Let's just chill and pass the up. Press play and I'm grinding. Back up in the hop like Shell told Adidas. Switch my whole demeanor, they don't know the half when they meet us. I am not a saint, I just wanna play like Norman Reedus. Gotta kick it kinda like it's orthopedics. If they dig it, ain't no need to go deeper. Checking playlists like T.JAY sold out. If I always overthink it, then I'm wearing my soul out. Whoa now, looking for the carpet to roll out. Don't slow down, I just drop another and go wild. Like cruising through Memphis, I'm just putting my toes down. Seeing my ambition, this ain't nothing they know about. Lyrical miracle, I'm just sick with the spirituals. So everything you see is being sick of me fearing you. Building up my city till it's simply imperial. Till they soak and get soft like they sitting in cereal. Politicians going crazy. Crooked cops, they wanna fade me. All this pressure won't pop. Let's just chill and pass the ox. Yeah, pass the ox. Come on, pass the ox.
It's Icarus, right?
Pass the ox. Let's just chill and pass
Stretch the beat over the fire, you know I'm working that yoga flame. He insane in silence, a while and I'm feeling Novocaine. Knowing all the problems, I saw him like I don't know the pain. Southern California, I'm feeling like I don't know the rain. Can't you stand it? Everything trying to plan it. If you ain't in the moment, you taking living for granted. Enjoying every second is how we taking advantage. Point of trying to make is that everything needs a balance. Tight rope walking, but rising up to the challenge. Never gonna be easy, but something that you can manage. All you gotta do is keep focusing on your talents. Pushing positivity, moving away from malice. Grinding through the trenches and rising up to the palace. Believing in yourself, and I promise you'll make it happen. When the word getting heavy, I suggest you take a life, fam. Let's get back and chillin', then pass it with your left, fam.
Politicians going crazy. Crooked cops, they wanna fade me. All this pressure won't pop.
Is that the preview? Is that the preview?
That is the preview.
Is that the preview for the collaboration album?
Preview. Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of that on this song too, because there's a lot of fun things because this song is just fun in general. So let's start with why we ended up making this song anyway in the first place.
Yeah, so I made this song Past the Ox because I was back home in Arkansas. I had a bunch of kids with me from the schools that go here, and I was just kind of observing their behavior. I was like, let me listen up and see what's happening. Right? Let me be quiet and see what they're doing. And the behavior I saw was not like, hey, why don't you, play this song like we used to do? We just pop CDs in and put it in the CD changer, or we flip CDs back and forth and whatnot, or we even go through and scroll through our own, MP3 players, and only one person controlled the playlist. But now, if you feel like they were, they were basically saying like, "Yo, this song is whack, pass the aux," and that's what I feel like sort of relates to the kind of greater scheme in society. Is like sometimes we gotta see that the song is whack, and it's time to pass the aux a little bit,
Right. How did you get the master lyricist Icarus Gray to do a song for you? That guy's hard to find out here.
It's just an ask. You gotta just ask. No, but that's the great part, is that we as people that have known each other since we're 6-7 years old.
Yeah.
Like, we have a bond that I could say could only be as close as myself and my brother, right? Or myself and my sister, like my siblings, right? We have that type of bond, and so when writing this song, it made sense to ask you to be a part of it, because we wanted to, in the song, like vocally pass the aux back and forth, right? So who better to pass the aux with than yourself?
Now, just as a disclaimer and just as a little shout out to things that are going to happen in the future, if you enjoyed this song, if you enjoyed that kind of collaboration, that is not only a Wordplay T.JAY song, essentially, but that is a Clark Gray song. And that's our alter egos mashed up together. And it just it's a positive vibe of it's pretty much for the nerds. I took a line from T.JAY's song from Cornerstone.
Rain?
No, not Cornerstone.
Not Rain, but
took it from Manifest. Took it from Manifest. Took it from Manifest on the Riley in the flesh, but Huey in the brain, and that's essentially what Clark Gray is and will be. So if you enjoyed it, there's a lot more coming from that. So just please understand that this orientation day, again, there's a lot of pivot points, a lot of good energy, and something to look forward to. Now, on this next song, it's also going to feel real good, but there's a lot of conversations about this song in terms of its impact that you should really understand. So we're going to go straight into Champagne.
Word.
Crying up champagne.
Campaign. Recognize that man. Why they crying right now?
Crying up champagne.
Blessed.
Crying.
What the hell you crying for now?
Crying.
Stressed.
Crying up
You ain't even dying right now.
champagne.
Why you pressed?
Crying.
Why your head held down? Take a deep breath.
Crying up.
You alive right now. Take full advantage of a time like now. You can overcome it if your mind don't foul. See another day, but your mind don't smile. Hit it, and the crowd goes wild. If they down, let the camp change. Never liable to that claim. We ain't worried about milk, we can get it all back in the thing. They crying over champagne. Crying over champagne. Crying over champagne. Crying. Things
ain't the same. Crying over champagne. Crying over champagne. Crying over champagne. Ain't it a shame? Crying over champagne. Rolling in the fresh air. My kick shit.
Yeah.
You gotta like that one because that's just given the fact that a lot of people will sit around bitching as opposed to getting up and doing like one quick statement before I ask you this question. Instead of bitching about Donald Trump or any of these things, you have an opportunity to change it. Play this song while you do it. Now, what was how Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde did you come up with the champagne? This perfect blend of bubbly and grimy.
So first of all, I want to say happy belated birthday, Juice. And so the way I came up with this particular song is that it actually came in the midst of some like kind of internal conflict with like, what should I release? What should I put out? Should I put out this? Like, you know, like there was a little bit of conflict, but eventually I realized that a lot of the things that we're going through is just really crying over not spilled milk anymore. Like, we live in America, right? Let's put it in perspective. Let's be really real, right? So we have our problems, true, but most people in America have food to eat. Most people in America have at least a decent roof, right? Or a car they can live in, right? So there's people all over the world that have things much more worse than we do, but yet we complain so much about things. And in some ways we're right to do that, right? We need to stand up for what we believe in, because at some point we need to be crying over a different expensive drink, right? And so right now I feel like we're crying over champagne. This is a blessing to be here every day. We're very fortunate to be born in America at this time in history. And so to take that for granted is unfortunate, but a lot of people do. And so I wanted to try to shine some perspective and hopefully let people know that I feel like I'm going to stop complaining about things because it's really not that bad.
Yeah, it's never that bad if you just keep moving. Like, all rain stops, no matter how hard it's raining, and the sun comes out at some point.
Yeah.
So let's go into your inner mindset on Link Up featuring Prophet. Shout out Prophet.
Yeah.
Dope song. So let's hop right into it.
Word.
So I link up, let it vibrate in my soul. So I link up. These vibrations keep me whole.
Turn it up.
Let it sync up. We're connected, we don't fold. We stay on a higher level. Let it ring around the globe.
Yo.
Plug into the source, right? Feel the energy. Get a buzz when it's into me. We don't worry about no enemies. No slump, get pumped, let it bump like a knuckle meat. Touching on the dot like ellipsis. Open eyes or you miss it. On the mission, don't split like fission. I'ma stream my vision, yo. I can read your mind, I'ma be just fine. Loaded up, I'ma beam online. From the beat to the speech, I'ma be on time. I don't see decline, yo. Living on the high rules, try to force it to flow right by you. On the verse, my Bible, at verse, my rival. Chew it up like I do. So I link up, let it vibrate in my soul. So I link up, these vibrations keep me whole. Let it sync up, we're connected, we don't fold. We stay on a higher level, let it ring around the globe. Yeah, keep it in a high highest state, heated up like a fireplace in a quiet taste. Open up, let it dilate. Here comes no dire
I'm
weight.
gonna play more.
Great, catching bank with no
'Cause I
chasers.
definitely
Testament
want
to
y'all to
my
hear my
patience.
brother's
Jumping
verse.
out of this basement. Positive is my fragrance. Thank
We
God I made it. Yeah.
Going with my gut right, closing up my circuit, I'm a touch light. Yeah. Loop up notes to the core tight. Yeah. Blessed with a little bit of foresight. Coming forth right, square to you must be. Bridging every gap like a USB. But I owe my rise to the MP3. Gotta touch my ring like an MVP, but don't envy me. You can get it too, ain't a secret to the game. If you got a Bluetooth, I'ma cup another win like I go whoop whoop. Stitch my cloth, I'ma show my truth. Hit a scarf my food. Tip when you serve good. Train when I show could. Just do, I don't know would. Make a little bit of flow push. On the wire where the crow stood. I link up, link up, link up. Let it vibrate in my soul. So I link up, link up, link up. These vibrations keep me whole. Let it sync up, sync up, sync up. Well connected, we don't fold. We stay on a higher level. Let it ring around the globe. Yeah. Keep it in the highest state, heated up like a fireplace in a quiet taste. Open up, let it dilate. Here comes no dire weight. Great, catching bank with no chasers. Testament to my patience. Jumping out of this basement. Positive is my fragrance. Thank God I made it. Yeah.
Link up like a pinky square web, long beach chest, no chains wrapped around the tire with the good air, shoestrings tied in the front. This the good pair. Link up with the sub treble. No, we don't rap fair. Link up like two dogs getting stuck. Link up like the horns on bucks trying to fight over who gon' fuck. Prophet, you thinking too much. Forget it, I'ma override it. Pick it like I'm undecided. We gon' get a little excited, upgraded into a ride. Hip hop, you cannot divide it. You can only multiply it. I'm so well connected. Push like a wall plug, we out like a little pudge. Bust like a kid or a soap sud. Spit minerals, that's a gold rush. Original flow, that's a cold crush. Sip it like Sonic, got a new slush. Wi-Fi, hotspot, ethernet, yo,
So I
choice.
link up, link up, link up, let it vibrate in my soul. So I link up, link up, link up. These vibrations keep me whole. Let it sync up. Yeah. There it is.
You got a question down in the comments. Juice would like to know, why do you not put wall thump? Wait, hold on, let me read this right. Trunk thumping bass in your music.
Trunk thumping bass. Why isn't it in there?
Yeah.
I missed that. That question. It has to be somewhere. But play this in your car. You'll feel it. Trust me. It's just because you're hearing it here. It's because you're hearing it here. If you play it in your car, trust me. Just trust me.
And it's kind of production wise, I believe the song is balanced in a way that just like you kind of have to turn things up a little bit by yourself. Like we don't just the lyrics and every part of the song is important. And I think sometimes with those trunk thumping songs, like you normally just hear that shit first and then you don't hear nothing else. But anyway,
I mean that's definitely the point. But like in this, I think my bass may not be even if you turn it up and play it in the car, my bass may not be what say a Crit's bass is, right? That's because of how I treat every single sonic in the mix, right? I think it's very important to really balance out the song so you feel every element. So you feel the vocals. The vocals need to be just as important as all the instrument. And I think more so you need to feel the bass than hear the bass in my songs. Past songs for sure. Past songs have been less bass, but that's because of the mix. I got better at mixing on this album. I mastered my craft finally.
Now I was gonna say go straight into answering Angelia's statement essentially is, talking more about your inner mindset.
Yeah. So my inner mindset, and let me go back to the specific. Ask me the specific question one more time, please, because I wanna answer it in the way it was posed to me.
Well, she said, explain how you hear your inner voice.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a process. And it's a process that I think a lot of people have been disconnected to, and it kind of ties back to No Feedback, and it ties back to Manifest and Tony Robbins and all these other songs that I have in the album. Being able to hear your inner voice requires you to quiet those thoughts that you have so constantly. I think at the end of the day, your mind feels exhausted, and that's because you have so many thoughts that run through your mind that none of those thoughts were your inspiration or your inner voice. And so my process is, in the morning, I wake up, and this is the best time to do it in the day. I meditate, because there's no lingering thoughts in my mind at that point. I haven't gained any momentum from all the thoughts that I've had. And then after that, I'm sort of no feedback in my way through life. You know what I mean? And it's a challenge, because I'm in the high schools here, and I'm having to like Heisman all these students, you know, like left and right. And then I'm trying to Heisman all the energy that's around me and the people that kind of honk at me on the road or something like that. You know what I mean? Every little thing that's going to take you towards like being a little bit mad. Because once you're a little bit mad, then you can, if you keep on nagging at it and poking at it, it's like poking at it's like scratching an itch, right? It's just going to keep irritating you because you keep not letting it heal, right? So if you get that mosquito bite early on in the day, you gotta let it heal and not mess with it. And so that's how I listen to my inner voice. It's just by not dealing with that little bite or nick or irritation. Like, I let it go. You got to let it go. And then once you let it go, you'll hear something that you're inspired to do that you can't deny. Like, you won't even fight it. You'll just go do something, and then lo and behold, you trace it back to, so for example, like when I was talking about naming Tony Robbins, I was inspired. I talked about Tony Robbins. I named the song Tony Robbins, but I didn't know that naming it that would be the thing that made it be successful on these platforms. So at the end of the day, like, if I had been a little bit irritated and let that irritation go on, I wouldn't have heard that inspiration to say Tony Robbins.
Yeah, that was a dope way to like end that aspect of it. And we're gonna get into the last song, M.O.D.
Yeah, and it stands for My Own Dream.
Darn you! I was gonna tell you to hold that until that was my question, man. That was gonna be the question. I had a alley-oop for you.
We don't fold, we stay on.
Hold
up. I messed that one up. Let me adjust the mic. There we go. Now I wake up and I'm working on my own dreams, calling on the franchise, bringing back the home team. You can set the value if you own things. If you count me out, guarantee you never known me. So I wake up Monday morning, I regret the Sunday nights. Wake up Monday morning, I regret the Sunday nights. Wake up Monday morning, I regret the Sunday nights. Gave it up too easy, now I'm taking back my life. Yeah, started off corporate, now I'm independent, sitting in this business with no cynicism, mandatory sentence. Loving Sunday night, Monday morning, fit my vision. Make a stretcher during the light and fill the day with optimism. My job is make decisions, not my family opinions. I didn't want this damn degree and all the debt I carry with it. So I focus on the dream and walk away from all the cynics. Like the best of lyricism, I ain't worried if they get it. Not a thing gon' change unless you brave and you turn that page. Don't waste your days, cause time don't save.
Those things you crave, just set your lane and make your name, cause you can't blame if the gifts don't rain. Now I wake up and I'm working on my own dreams, calling on the franchise, bringing back the home team. You can set the value if you own things. If you count me out, guarantee you never known me. So I wake up Monday morning, I regret the Sunday nights. Wake up Monday morning, I regret the Sunday nights. Wake up Monday morning, I regret the Sunday nights. Gave it up too easy, now I'm taking back my life. Yeah, happy in the current, I'm not in a hurry, but my days are blurry, cause my streams are surging, basking in the flow. Brighter than some curry, not a thing to worry. Demolition derby, I'm too quick at curving, crushing as I go. Don't see the competition, cause I'm blinded by the light. Coming out the tunnel like it's 1995. Fitting mediocre ain't a thing I can describe. So every time I pray, I take care of all the pride. Not a thing gon' change unless you brave and you turn that page. Don't waste your days, cause time don't save. Those things you crave, just set your lane and make your name, cause you can't blame if the gifts don't rain. Now I wake up and I'm working on my own dreams, calling on the franchise, bringing back the home team. You can set the value if you own things. If you count me out, guarantee you never known me. Now I wake up and I'm working on my own dreams, calling on the franchise, bringing back the home team. You can set the value if you own things. If you count me out, guarantee you never known.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you say a lot
Yeah.
and kick a lot of different things to kind of end the album. How did you feel as you're sequencing everything? You come up to this, you're listening through all of it, you get to the last song, and what are you feeling in the moment that you're listening to this?
When I'm listening, I feel like this is where I am. This is where I'm kind of in the present, right? I'm following my own dreams, and it's sort of like a phew, about time. Like, you know, because there's certain things that by listening to other people's opinions on what I should be doing caused me to not listen to myself. And I said it in someone else's dream in job application that I needed to, you know, I pretty much waking up every morning, you know, living out somebody else's dream. And so this is the reply to that. This is the rebuttal to that song, the part two, if you could say it. So now that I'm not living out someone else's dream, what does that look like? I'm making my own dreams now. I wake up and I'm working on my own dreams. And I'm building my own franchise. I'm building my own team. I'm building my own legacy. And I'm setting my own rules and guidelines and saying where I'm going to be and what I'm going to do. Like, nobody else can dictate that anymore. Nobody. I'm not listening to anybody else's opinion anymore. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you want out of me. Doesn't matter what you think I want out of myself. I'm not doing it. I'm listening to my own gut, and that's where the song goes. That's where the song goes.
I like that as a complete way to end the album because you give so many different keys to wisdom, but it's essentially at this point it's saying every song is my own wisdom. You can take it, you can leave it, but this is how I feel in that moment. These are the things that made me pivot. These are things that could help you, cannot help you, because you can choose to do like me and just follow your heart, get yourself together, know what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it. So with the album being completed, with you putting all of these songs together in the way that you sequenced them, in the way that you built this foundation, what is the thing that when you finish listening to every single track, all the way through that you now get up and go do?
I play it again because because it because listening to my own dreams ends in such a way that new day comes back in as a surprise. And so it's sort of like, oh, it catches you off guard and then you're back in the cycle again. And so I wanted to design this album in such a way where you really couldn't get up from it unless you turn the device off and go out and do something. Right. So hopefully this encourages people to say, hey, the only way I'm going to break away from this album is to stop running it back and to go do something about my own situation. Right. Maybe I get inspired to go outside. Maybe I get inspired to go like make a painting or make a new song or get inspired to make something new. You know what I mean? And just have fun and enjoy yourself and treat your dream like a new dream every day. Right? That's why it ends on my own dream, and that's why it starts with a new day. Because once you figure out what your own dream is, tomorrow comes and you get to play it all over again.
Man, when I tell you that is a perfect way to roll out an album. This has been fun. I learned a lot about the album. I learned different aspects about the creation process. I hope that you all learned different things. Please continue to ask as many questions as you have down in the comments, because we'll be there in the comments, throughout the week, because we get notifications when y'all comment even after you've seen the video. The actual album drops when?
It's on March 23rd, so next Friday, so a week from today, it'll be out.
And you'll be able to get this on all of your streaming, wherever you purchase music, except for physical places, because those are going out of business.
They are going out of business. iTunes just sent me an email a few weeks ago telling, oh, we're about to phase out the other things and our commission rates for streaming are going up. So so it's like, yeah, get ready for that. But we still got physical disc coming on the way. So I'm getting those printed up. I'm working with my my photography and media intern, and he's putting together some merchandise for us. So we're going to be ordering pieces of that and shooting it and having photo shoots and showing that off. And the rollout will continue past the album dropping. This is why I rolled out the album in such a way, right? I didn't want the album to stop at just day of release. It's not over. There's more stuff coming. So stay tuned.
In the summer, there may be a Pass the Aux video. So be on the lookout for that, because it's
stream this album and I can take a flight and put that thing together. Yeah,
but please do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this deep look into Wordplay T.J.'s album Orientation Day. I appreciate it being your host. It's your boy Icarus Gray,
and it's your homeboy Wordplay T.J.
And we will see you guys again week after week after week. Never missing a beat. 1, 2, 3, and peace.
No Rhyme or Reason is an On the Map music group production.